Everybody, welcome to the Other Tony Bennett Presents. This is episode 19. Glad to be here. I have with me the talent coordinator for the Other Tony Bennett Presents, Ms. Shirley J. Carter. Say hi to everyone.
Yes, hi. And stay tuned for a really great show.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here to stay. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way, ooh, baby, to bring some loving here to stay. The big line, picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Come talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Hey. Oh. Yeah. Da 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 da. Shabadi, tweet tweet tweet. Listen, mother, everybody thinks we're wrong, but who were they to judge? Simply because we wear our hair so long. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here to stay. The big line, the picket signs, don't punish me with verbality. Please just speak to me softly so you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Woo. Oh. We've got to come together, come together. What a wonderful world it will be. Woo.
Heavenly Father, watching over us all. As we go upon the highways and byways, we ask for your grace and your mercy to carry us through to the next moment. Because without you, nothing's possible.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Okay, my name is Robert E. Johnson. As you know, the E stands for Erskine. I have Erskine Entertainment LLC, which is a management and production film company, which, you know, Lauren Marie is under their management, and so is Jacqueline Schuyler. And we also have Mighty Works Media. Mighty Works Media is a everything, a one-stop shop company.
Great.
That does it all. And we're also working on the movies, which is Black Caesar. You know, Chase Street, which is one of the films that has been done up, you know, we have 6 episodes of that, and the network is about to take it as we speak. both of these artists and actresses are
Yes.
are also in Chase Street, the TV series, which is a political crime drama series, and both of them are also actresses in Black Caesar, which is the true American gangster story.
Excellent.
And without them, I couldn't get a lot of things done.
Yes.
She plays Ann J. Johnson in Black Caesar. If she wanted to tell you anything
Beautiful.
about it.
And I seen some of the rough cuts that you sent me, and
Uh-huh.
everybody's dressed like they were back in the day when they had Bumpy Johnson. Got that Harlem appeal to it, and I really looked at it and I said, wow, they're doing everything to the T, including the clothing, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, because the truth of the matter is, American Gangster that Denzel Washington and them put out was
Yes.
American Prankster. None of that
Exactly.
is correct. Godfather of Harlem is another incorrect series because
Yes.
Bumpy was never a drug dealer. I personally was in the back seat of Bumpy when Frank Matthews took him over to the Red Rooster
Wow.
to see Imam Amir Baraka. So this story that I'm telling is not a story that I heard. I mean, I have the story all the way down packed from the point where Tyrone Palmer, who's Mr. Millionaire out of Philadelphia, used to get drugs from Frank Matthews.
Wow.
Frank Lucas never went to Vietnam. He ain't never been no Harlem Kingpin. Dudes in Harlem don't even know who he is.
Wow.
Shorty Lucas, his brother, used to get drugs from Leroy Stephanie, who used to get it from Frank Matthews, who had created the Asian pipeline. Frank Matthews was going to Vietnam. He was going to Bangkok. He got hold of 21 states. See, Bumpy didn't let him sell drugs in Harlem, but when Bumpy died, Frank Matthews took over the drug empire.
Wow. That's
He
something.
was averaging, his average income was $170 million a year. See, that's why we call that old American gangster movie American
Yes.
Prankster. And there's a lot of other guys who's attempting to do a Black Caesar. I think Will Smith wants to do one on Nicky Barnes.
Wow.
And I think, if I ain't mistaken, Jamie Foxx or somebody wants to do one on Frank Matthews, Black Caesar. None of them knew them.
Wow, that's amazing.
None of them know the story.
Amazing.
I know the story. It's not what I heard. I was there. So I'm familiar with all of it.
Yes.
And I have two of the greatest actresses in the world working with me
Definitely.
on the project because, see, when Frank Matthews, as you probably know, when he used to distribute heroin throughout the world, he had a Maisha Vanderbilt, which is her, who actually never had to worry about getting searched. And she was taking drugs and then everywhere. And then, as you know, Frank Matthews' common law wife was Barbara Hinton, and when he escaped with Cheryl Brown and Ann G. Johnson, who was playing by Lauren Marie. And if you want to see the true story of American Gangster, you want to see a real story all the way from the beginning to the end, see American Gangster, the real story, Black Caesar.
Black Caesar.
And Erskine Entertainment, LLC production, and
Yes.
Mighty Works Media
And
doing
I
all the
definitely
voiceover
wanna-
for it.
And it's interesting. I would definitely like to hear from the ladies. I just want to say to everybody in attendance and everybody that's going to be watching this broadcast, we all seen the rhetoric that Frank Lucas puts on these YouTube videos. He's in a secret location. He doesn't want to say where he's at. And I found that kind of odd because if you're on camera on a newscast, then why wouldn't you want to state your location? So you got Frank Lucas hiding out because he's going around telling stories. And also, I don't want to get too deep. I'm going to let the crew here go into that. Everything that you hear from Frank Lucas is not true. Okay? He was not Bumpy Johnson's driver, and I'm going to have the ladies comment on that. Miss Lauren,
Yes.
what would I want you to comment, and also Shirley, you might have a couple
Yes, I was about to
questions
say, I have
before
a
we get
couple
started. Go ahead.
I have a question about the Vietnam connection with the shipping of the bodies and caskets with the U.S. Army helping. Was that true?
Well, it's not with Frank Lucas. There was a guy named Smack Adams, they used to call him Sergeant Smack, who was in the
Yes.
service.
Okay.
He used to send drugs over in coffins, that Frank Matthews started getting. But Frank Matthews had ships coming in by the boatloads. He had, matter of fact, Lucky Luciana's old ships, which they used for the war, were some of the ships that Frank Matthews started using.
Wow.
And yeah, he had drugs coming in coffins to Dover, Delaware, and different areas, which in American Gangster, the movie, they act like Frank Lucas was doing that.
Right.
You know, Frank Lucas didn't go to Vietnam. Frank Matthews went to Vietnam. Frank Matthews went to Bangkok. Frank Matthews went all through the Middle East. You know, and I think Freddie Myers and
Yes.
you know, who you'll also see in this series.
New York
in this
Freddie
movie,
Myers,
yeah. You
if
know,
you're not familiar with him.
Matter of fact, when Freddie Myers was in prison, one of the guys that was in there with him, you know, Frank Lucas testified against him. You know, Frank Lucas gave his brother Shorty a life sentence. So
Yes.
he ain't had no problems testifying
ratted
against
his own
anybody
brother
else,
out.
you know. So, but Bumpy, somebody said, was he with Bumpy when he died? Bumpy died July the 7th, 1 o'clock in the morning in Wells Restaurant. Julie Bird called my dad up and told me Bumpy was dead, that he just had a heart attack, and they had put him in a chair, but they didn't want the people to know he was dead.
Wow.
You know, at the time. Because Bumpy loved chicken and waffles. That's his
Yes.
main thing.
Right.
You know,
Did he actually choke on something?
Well,
as
no, he
said?
actually had a heart attack. You know, from
So
my
it
understanding.
wasn't that he choked. He had
no,
a heart attack.
No. It wasn't no appliance store with Frank or none of that crap.
Wow. So
You know,
this is interesting.
Natural
because-
causes.
Definitely.
Exactly, yeah,
That's
exactly.
amazing. Shirley, did you finish your question that you had?
Yeah, so I would say your story is totally different.
Our story is the true story.
And it's the truth.
As
Wow.
Lauren, who is the executive vice president of Mighty Works Media, she's the vice president of Mighty Works Media, as she said, if we're going to tell a story, tell the true story.
That's
Right.
amazing. Ladies,
Wow.
the characters that y'all play, can y'all elaborate on how intense the role gets? Because this is a interesting thing that you're doing, Black Caesar, because Frank Matthews, what people don't know is he was the supplier, and a lot of people was getting their dope and drugs from him. So he was and the guy that we referenced earlier, Sergeant Smack, his name is Ike Atkinson, everybody.
Yes.
Ike Atkinson. He used to hide they had this route where he hid the drugs in the caskets of the soldiers, the dead soldiers. They made that man do 33 and a half years, no parole. He did it all.
And can I say
now
how
he's
he-
out of jail, right,
And,
right,
and
Mr.
you know
Johnson?
how he got the 33 years, right?
Well, he wouldn't tell
Because the
nobody.
Guy, yeah, he wouldn't tell nobody,
Yes.
but the only way he got locked up is because a guy who used to get dope from Shorty Lucas, who happened to be Frank Lucas, told him, you know, that this guy,
Wow.
Smack Adams, Atkinson, was sending drugs in coffins to a guy named Frank Matthews.
So Frank Lucas ratted out Sergeant Smack.
Hey, if you go read the history books and go to some of the law journal cases, you'll see where he took the stand against 19 defendants, and he didn't even know half of them.
Wow. Ladies, would you like to comment on your roles or anything pertaining to either Black Caesar? That's probably the most important thing now that we can discuss, because this is a very big thing. And if you want to comment on the Chase Street series as well, you can do so.
Okay.
Do y'all have any comment on your role in addition to what Mr. Roberts said about Frank Lucas, the story that he's telling? Do y'all have anything that you'd like to comment about and your personal opinion? Because we all seen the YouTube videos. We all seen the Denzel version playing Frank Lucas. Matter of fact, Denzel did a better job than Frank Lucas did, Lion.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, that's
But you want to see the real deal? See me as Frank Matthews,
Okay.
Black Caesar. You're going to see the real deal.
Nice.
And these great actresses, and you know, she may want to tell you a few things. about
Yes.
Well, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for having me and
Definitely,
us,
it's a pleasure.
all of
It's a
us.
pleasure, Miss Lauren.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I'll start off with Chase Street real quick. We'll divert to something else and then touch back with Black Caesar. Chase Street is a political drama series, which is true, based out of Camden, New Jersey.
Yes.
And it's a unique story, politically driven, the drug scene driven. Anything that you can think of in many different aspects is put all together.
Yes, and I'm from there, so I can relate to the
Yes.
story.
And there are a lot of things that have not been said about things that have been taken to court or people that have been doing life sentences or jail sentences that I feel, as well as my friends, team,
Yes.
and actors and actresses, should portray the truth. We all are about being honest. Loyalty is key to all of us. And there's things that need to be put out there. So the
Yes.
Chase Street, it's going to blow people's minds.
Definitely, and it's a
it's
real,
up there. It's up there.
Camden is a real place. I had to struggle and fight my way out of there. So, and I have family living on that street,
Okay.
and still do.
So you know.
Yeah. So I can relate to that struggle. Shelley, do you have a comment for Ms. Lauren?
Yes, I do. I have a question for all of the guests. Have you interacted or come face to face with the living relatives of the characters from your movie?
Well, when you say that, that's a hard question to answer because
Winston.
most of them are deceased. But you know, I mean, Bumpy, you know, I knew very well. You know, he was like a family. He was a family member, actually. You know, Frank Matthews, you know, I remember well. You know, so all the other guys like, you know, Leroy Butler, Pee-wee Kirkland, Freddie
Yes.
Myers just passed. Actually, Frank Lucas just passed, rest his soul.
Right.
You know, but some of the guys I know very well, like Silk the Pimp, that got the book called Gentlemen of Leisure. Everybody knows that the FBI came to the Ali Frazier fight where I was there. And to see him and Pee Wee Kirkland, mostly Silk,
Yes.
because Silk had just wrote a book called Gentlemen of Leisure. And in his book, he talked about how I make more than the President of the United States. My girl just got me a $50,000 chinchilla coat and hat. You notice that's what they use in American Gangster, but that was
Yes.
Silk.
Right.
He was the one, you know, that
Yes.
had the chinchilla coat and hat. And so yeah, you'll see the real story. But no,
Yes.
there's Karen Quinones, who has a book called Harlem Godfather, which they done took and making most of their story distorting her book.
Yes.
You know, because I mean, she actually did a real interview and a real story. So other than that, most of the people that I know, you know, involved in that circle are deceased. There are some people that are still around. You know, some of the Smalls crew out of Sammy Smalls out of Harlem, some of them are still around, but majority of them are deceased. You know, my dad, he's deceased, you know, so, but I just feel as though we need to get the real story out there because there's things
Yes.
that they talk about. Bumpy didn't sell drugs. He didn't let nobody
Wow.
bring drugs in
And-
Harlem.
And no one knew that because they painted him out to be a kingpin.
No, he wasn't. You know, he was paid. He paid for Charlie Rangel. Read Charlie Rangel's autobiography. He paid for his education. He paid for Martin
Wow.
Luther King's trips.
Sometimes in life, people portray things,
Yes.
you know, and it's perception. And in the world that we live in, one person hears one thing, and then the next says it, and the next says it, and the world believes it.
Yes.
And in this, we're all very passionate, including Mr. Johnson, as you
Yes.
could tell,
Definitely.
about telling the truth. And people have this perception of Bumpy or Lucas
Yes.
that are not right. So we're here to say this is the truth, and this would really happen, because that's being fair.
Definitely.
like to
Did you,
add a point.
Did you have anything you wanted to say, Miss Jacqueline?
Yes, I'm very fortunate to work and to be a part of this company. I play a reporter in Chase Street, and I play the delivery girl in Black Caesars. And what I wanted to say is that Mighty Works Media, which is our company, we take everything from script to screen. And we have a large network of industry professionals that we pull from. And I've seen amazing talent with the people that I've worked for Black Caesars and Chase Street. There's amazing talent coming out of this area.
Excellent. And that's what we need too.
Yes, and hopefully we can get this going and create more jobs for the community as well. But this is a really great story. It's the true story, and we're happy to work together, and we work very well together.
Definitely. We all look forward to seeing it because of time. I want to ask y'all, is there anything y'all want to leave the people with as far as the social network page to check out where they can follow your up and coming films? Your media company, they do search engine optimization too, people. So if you have a business, you have to be placed on Google and you have to get there through SEO, search engine optimization. So they're a media company. These are people that can get your social network and operate it for you. You
And
know,
help with
so
websites,
your
build websites.
you know, it used to be called backlinking at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So you have to be found in order for people to subscribe to your company. So if you're looking for more business, this is the people that can help you.
MightyWorksMedia.com.
Okay, what was the website?
MightyWorksMedia.com.
Okay.
We also have a Facebook and an Instagram page as well as a Twitter page, and that's all located on the main website page.
Okay, so if they keyworded Mighty Works Media, everything will come up.
Correct.
Okay, under Google.
.com, MightyWorksMedia.com.
MightyWorksMedia.com, everyone. And Mr. Johnson.
And the email is MightyWorksMedia@yahoo.com.
MightyWorksMedia@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Because of time, this is interesting. I can go on for a long time.
I know.
Shirley, do you want to leave them with anything final to say?
Yes, I have one more question. Does your company employ the local community in your filming?
Oh yeah. Shoot.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
Good
it's
More the
mostly
merrier.
local.
Yes.
And you know, as a result of it, guys like Bobby Rand, who's one of the actors in our film, as an example, he and Kevin Benton, both of them guys are in tons of movies. Bobby Rand is in the Life series, which 50 Cent is doing. He's in The Power. Kevin Benton is in.
A major Super Bowl commercial that just came out with
Nice.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, he's nominated
Delaware,
for an award this
Delaware
year.
Shore.
Yeah, he's in
also.
Delaware Shore. Yeah.
That's excellent.
You
Can
know.
you tell everybody, as the final question, where your companies are stationed, are based?
Well, we're based out of Camden, but we take all our addresses, P.O. Box 632, Camden, New Jersey, 08101,
Okay.
Mighty Works Media.
So if anyone wants to send anything or request
they
it,
can send-
are you
All
able-
that is on the website
Okay,
as
so
well.
y'all
Yeah,
can find
yeah,
this
they
on
can
the
go to the
website.
website,
It's
yeah.
easier.
And is there anything y'all would like to leave us with?
Thank you for having
It
us.
definitely is a pleasure, and I wish we had more time because this is an interesting thing that you're doing, and this is going to be able to be seen on social network immediately and on 3 Comcast channels and 2 Verizon channels, possibly in the month of May. I'll give you the schedule, and I want to tell you I thank you for being on the Other Tony Bennett Presents, and this is episode 19. Thank you very much.
Thank
All right,
you.
so
Okay.
pleasure to be on.
Definitely
Thank you.
good to have y'all. Great
Thank
to have
you.
you.
Great to be on.
This is dedicated to all those gone but not forgotten.
I've been so many places, seen so many things, but none quite as lovely as you. More beautiful than a Nefertiti. You're worth more than platinum. Yet my eyes, they have the pleasures just to behold. You're my latest. I tell you, you're my greatest, my greatest inspiration. Things never look clear. Peace within never felt near. But that's when all my burdens would turn to this song. You're tender as a baby's touch. I need you all so much. But alas, it's low, it's so loud. You're my latest. I tell you, you're my latest inspiration. I plan to give you all that I have. I'll give you everything, everything you think that I am. 'Cause you make life a joy to me. See, I'm thankful. I've been truly blessed just to know you. Yeah, I've been so many places, and I've seen so many things, but none quite as delectable as you. You see, you're more beautiful than a Nefertiti, and you're worth more than zinc, platinum, copper, or gold, but never had the pleasures just to behold. you're my latest. I tell you, you're my latest, my greatest inspiration. You've inspired me, don't you know it? Hey, baby, inspiration. And you just keep on lifting me up, baby. Don't you know it? And I want you to keep on lifting me up, baby. Higher, 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 higher. You see, I love what you do when you do what you do for me. Hey, baby, higher. You keep on lifting me higher. There's no me without you. Oh, baby, 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 baby. I miss you, baby. You're my latest. You're my greatest inspiration. Said I love you, baby. There's no me without you. I'm gonna keep the fire burning. I'm gonna keep the candle lit right here. You're my latest, you're my greatest. Oh, baby, I love you. Baby, I love you. Lady, I love you, 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 and I miss you, and I need you. You're my latest, my greatest.
Yes, it's my pleasure. First, Ron Welch, I just want to ask you about your community work. At one point in your career, you were training prisoners how to become tailors.
Yes.
Could you tell the audience why and how you decided to do that?
Well, growing up in North Philadelphia, 9th and Lehigh, trying to find a job coming out of high school was hard. So someone told me to apply for a city prison job. Like working in prison, who would think that tailor shops was in prisons? I never knew that. So in '85, the city had posted a job about a tailor position, a shop supervisor position in the prisons. First of all, living in North Philly, you know half of the people in the prison, probably most. So when I took the test, I came in the second place on the test, and in '85 they hired me. I was the youngest shop supervisor in the history of Philadelphia prison industry, and I was teaching inmates the pattern making, garment construction, from
You also do women's dresses or women's attire? Do you do men and women's?
We do both men's and women's clothing. My company is called Wardrobe Clinic. We do surgery on your wardrobe. You may have a problem with your suit, your dress, or your jeans. We actually bring it in. We go by appointment only. We have two locations, one Broad and Locust Street and uptown Germantown near near Temple Hospital, 39 Germantown Avenue.
Okay, what's the website where they can see your work at? I was able to see the great work you have. Let the public know so they can know how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, wardrobeclinic.com.
Wardrobeclinic.com. Also, do you actually create prototypes from scratch? So if someone gives you an idea on paper and they say, listen, I'm not a great animator or drawer,
Right.
but here's an ideal of what I'm trying to do, can you take the fabric, can you create the fabric and build that design from scratch from beginning to end?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, excellent.
In fact, what we do, we design everything from suits to sweatsuits to safety products. So our design studio is like a little QVC. So QVC started back in the early 80s where they make product they sell online.
Yes.
So we have a little QVC uptown. And our city office is our service center. So we can design from suits to sneakers to eyewear